your light is right when it is uncomfortably burning in your eyes. Pro tip. What's up, guys? I'm CandidCrandell, and welcome to another episode of Makeup-Free Musings, where I give my 100% honest opinion on things, 100% makeup-free. Today, I'm going to be talking about dealing with toxic people. No matter who you are, where you go, what you do, you will always encounter toxic people. It's super important to remember that you can't control their actions, you can only control your reaction. So what exactly is a toxic person? Someone who loves the drama. Toxic people often engage in behavior that can be aggravating, and they have really zero interest in how it will be perceived by other people. Sometimes they'll know that they're aggravating people, but they really don't care. And they always have something nasty to say about everyone else, and they have no problem sharing it with you. They can be friends, family, co-workers, significant others, which can make it really, really difficult to figure out how to deal with them. I used to spend a lot of my time trying to figure out how I could stand up to people like this and make myself heard and maybe change their opinion. I have come to realize that it's not worth it. If someone really wants to change, it has to come from them. It's not going to come from an outside source. You can say things to people all you want, but when they actually decide to make a positive change, it's usually because they personally want to do it. The thing that I have found best to do is to be able to identify toxic people in my life, and if I can choose to not engage with them, that's what I do. There are some situations in which you will find toxic people that you kind of have to engage with, like coworkers or family members. It's good to recognize that those people are toxic and have that in the back of your mind when you're interacting with them, and almost kind of filter everything through that and know that, all right, they're probably going to say something that's going to offend me or upset me. My getting upset is not going to change them, and I'm just going to feel upset. Toxic people really feed off of negativity and attention. And so the best thing that you can do to just distance yourself from that is to not give them any of that. Don't give them negative energy back. Don't try to get into an argument with them, because that's exactly what they're looking for. It's not going to change them. If anything, it fuels their fire. I feel like every single person knows at least one person that just loves to fight, loves to play devil's advocate, and loves to disagree or argue whenever possible. Oftentimes, these toxic people boost their own ego by defending themselves against criticism. It gives them a chance to argue for their actions and to continue to be under the delusion that they are an idealized version of themselves that can do no wrong. Being as involved with the internet as I am, I come across a lot of toxic people, as I have in my life. I think that the scale of people that you're interacting with on the internet is greater than the scale of people that you normally interact with on a day-to-day basis. So a lot of times it does feel like there's a lot of negativity and toxicity on YouTube, on the internet. I don't think it's that there's more negative people on the internet. I just think that there's more people on the internet, and so that ratio of negative people to positive people is a little skewed, more so than it would be in our normal day-to-day interactions. It's interesting that a lot of times on the internet, people assume that when someone doesn't say something back, that it's oh, they're hiding something, they don't want to say anything because they did something wrong. You guys have all heard of the phrase, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. I think that people forget about that in the age of the internet, where it's so easy to go on social media and defend yourself against what people are saying. This applies even to mean comments that you'll see and respond to on other people's videos. Don't do it. Don't waste your time feeding that fire, because that's what those people want. When people post outrageous things, a lot of times it's just because they're oh, well, I'm not going to get attention any other way. And if you don't want to encourage that behavior and you don't want that to become the norm, then you can't respond to that behavior. I think it's really confusing for trolls when people respond to their comments and bigger YouTubers respond to their comments or make videos about their comments, and then they'll be you shouldn't be a troll. But that troll got exactly what they wanted. They got mentioned in a YouTube video. Even if they specifically weren't mentioned, they know that it was them. Also, think about why you're responding back. You're not going to alter their opinion. At a certain point, you're saying it just so that people are seeing you respond back, and it's just this really vicious cycle. You have to learn to live with the toxic people, because they're gonna be there. You should not pour your positive energy into someone who is just taking and taking and taking. I forget where I heard this, but someone was talking about the idea of picturing yourself as like a pitcher of lemonade or something like that. You only have so much lemonade in the pitcher that you can pour out. So if you're pouring it out to people who aren't giving you something in return, you're just gonna end up with an empty lemonade pitcher and no way to fill it back up. You have to be so careful about who you pour your positive energy into, because some people just aren't worth it. And most importantly, don't waste your time or your breath trying to convince other people of someone's toxicity. If that person is truly toxic, their behavior will reveal itself. They will do something and eventually other people will see it. But if you're sitting there spending all of your time and energy talking about how someone else is a bad person and you're not focusing on making yourself a better person, that's kind of a waste of your time, don't you think? Let me know down in the comments if you have any tips for dealing with toxic people, or if you have a story that you would like to share. I would love to hear about it. If you don't already, you can follow me on Twitter, Tumblr, Blogspot, and Instagram, username CandidCrandell. I am going to be putting out videos every Thursday. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of my new videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you again next Thursday. Bye.